Alright folks, so we're back in the shop here, and this is overnight. I let the 3 bond dry. I did torque these down just about hand tight, and then I let it set. So not really sure if that's what you're supposed to, but in light of the directions not being very clear, that's what I ended up doing. So what I gotta do is I gotta get in here and torque these. I gotta get a different extension, so I'm gonna have to come back to this. But we're gonna torque these down. The manual says 6 to 9 pounds of torque. My torque wrench only goes to 20 pounds, so this is going to just be a hand-tied job. So let me get the other extension, and then we'll get these things torqued down. Alright, so I think I got a better extension here. Just going to come in here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and tighten this over here. This is all by feel. You got to be careful. This is aluminum, so you don't want to go wrenching on it too hard. So I think that'll do that. At this point, just make sure this is nice and clean. I think we're good here. I think everything's nice and secure. But anyways, the reason why you want to make sure you don't have any air leaks is to make sure that you're not sucking any air that your carburetor is not accounting for and giving you a lean condition. Alright, so now we're going to put our carburetor back on. So we have our hose clamp here. This is going to go on this, so we can tighten it down. I'm putting it orientated with the screw this way. You could do it over here this way, but then it'd be tighter. This makes it easier to get to. And so we're just going to gently grab our carburetor that has been patiently sitting here for a very long time. Gently work it in. Now, I put paper towel in the carburetor to keep anything from getting in there. I'm going to pull that out. Gently work this down. If I have one regret, I think I would have done before I tore this whole engine apart. I think it would have made a much better effort to really clean the entire machine off before getting into it. I got sand all over the place. Just trying to get this to seat into that boot. Okay. There we go. It looks good. I'll rotate this ring up. And I got to get a wrench to tighten that down, so I'll be right back once I get that wrench. Alright, got the right size socket on my tool here. So I got to rotate this hose clamp up. This is on the between the carburetor and the intake side, so I'm tightening up the hose clamp on that boot. Tighten this down. Okay, I think that's nice and tight. Now the next step that we'd have here is to put on. We're gonna feel this real quick. It looks good. Is we got to put on our intake adapter and our air filter. So that would go here, and of course we're going to pull out our intake. It looks like there's a little bit of sand and stuff, so I'm going to start cleaning that. Which we don't get any of that down into the carburetor. So let me pause here and I'll get that cleaned out. Alright, so we're going to put in our air filter. Got my 2 screws, got to set them down. So hand here. Gently put that in. We got another hose clamp down here. Put that up. And we're going to rotate this around so I can get to it from from over here. That's probably the best access to it. Get that in place. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. Start wrenching on this. Good. Now put our screws in. This is for our oddball. You know, I think there's a couple of washers I'm missing. I'm gonna have to grab those washers real quick. Alright, got the camera repositioned, and I have I think these are a 6mm along with the small washer. The washer just kind of helps to prevent some marring on the paint of this intake adapter. Thread that in. Thread this in. Okay, this is my drain. Need to get this hose down there. Looks good. Okay, and then I just need to tighten these up. I think that's 10mm. So this is obviously an aftermarket intake setup. This is our Oddball ORV intake adapter, and it takes a K&N high flow air filter. I really like this setup for a couple of reasons. The primary being that it really opens up the engine compartment. I think it allows a lot more airflow. Airflow not only to the engine itself, but just to the outside of the engine. I don't know if it really helps anything with cooling, but I'd like to think it does. The other element that I think is worth it is that it makes it easier to work on this engine. You know, if you got to get in here, work on your carb. Carb's right here, you can get to it if you need to. So otherwise you'd have this big box in this area. It's kind of hard to see with the camera angles and everything. But I really like this setup. I wouldn't be making them if I didn't believe in them. And so they're definitely worth considering. If you do get a high airflow air filter setup like this, you do need to change the jetting on your carb, otherwise you're going to run lean. So something to keep in mind if you make this upgrade. Okay folks, so I need to conclude this up because I forgot to do it on the video, but anyways, hope you enjoyed this clip of installing the SmartCarb SC2 carburetor in the Honda Odyssey. In the next clip, we're going to be taking a look at the exhaust side of things, getting those things buttoned up, and then from there we'll start buttoning up the top head and torquing things, and then doing a compression test and then firing it off. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.